We'll call this meeting to order. To the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance.
Flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now call this meeting of the Hamilton County Veteran Service Commission to order. In recognition of staff and guests.
Pam's just going to check, Madam President, if there's any guests out there. There is. Okay.
Chris Green from the.
I'm sorry?
It'll be Chris Green from the Wolverine Veterans Memorial.
Oh, okay.
A couple of seats back there, and we'll get you a,
How you doing, sir?
Hi there, how are you? Okay.
here's a couple of others.
At least we're not in the hospital, right? At least we're not in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bad day.
That was. Yeah. Yep. Did everything turn out okay?
Bad way.
Oh, sorry to hear that. All right, we have guest Chris Green. And we have our, and I'm sorry, you told me your
Okay,
name.
ma'am. Ben Rosenfield.
Yes,
Nice to see you. Thank you.
right. Okay. And we have you.
Me, yes. Finally here.
Yes.
Tyler here.
Jim
Okay.
Gronefeld, our new financial services manager.
All right. You got a lot of hard work ahead of you. See.
I like it.
You earned a stripes last week.
Oh,
Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve our agenda for today.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for today. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Okay, Commissioner Hedden,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Stanford,
Yes.
Commissioner Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes. Executive session to review emergency financial assistance applications for the period 11/1/2024 through 11/30/2024 in pursuit of the ORC 121.22J and 5901.09.
We going into that session.
Can I just add, Madam President, that we allow our financial services manager, Jim Gronefeld, to be present in any executive sessions that has to do with financial assistance applications moving forward.
We have a motion. Do we have a second to adjourn to executive session?
Second.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, Pam, please.
Commissioner Hedden,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Stanford,
Yes.
Commissioner Watson,
Yeah.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes. All right. Now entertain a motion to approve minutes from our prior meeting from November the 25th, 2024.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve minutes from November the 25th with any necessary correction.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Pam.
Commissioner Hedden,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Stanford,
Yes.
Commissioner Watson, Commissioner Wilson.
Abstain. Okay, presentations and announcements.
Madam President, if I can, not reflected in the agenda, but the approval of those financial assistance applications.
Oh, man, that's already. Okay, we can remember to put that on there. I just read down the agenda.
Right.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
I will entertain a motion to approve the financial reports.
Wilson, so moved.
So moved, seconded.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please, Pam.
Commissioner Hennon,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Sandiford,
Yes.
Commissioner Watson, Commissioner Wilson.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go on. Presentations and or announcements. Do you have anything you'd like to say, Mr. Green?
I think that's on the agenda.
He's on the agenda. too.
I'm sorry.
He's in the agenda, old business.
Whole range.
Okay, well, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
you wanna
we're
do it now?
under this right
Okay.
here, so I'm just asking him right now if he has anything he'd like to say. But we can wait till we come there. Okay, any other presentations or announcements? Open forum, Full Rain Food Drive. I'm sorry, open forum. Anything under the open forum? Yes.
It was my understanding that this board directed, Mr. Sanza to post the job listings on external websites,
Yes.
and it still has not been done. You have a month to do so.
So by external websites, you're talking about the HR county website? Yes.
County, Indeed,
Yes.
all of that.
Well,
Right?
so, Ms. Indubisi was gonna post on Indeed. She told me that 2 days ago. She would be posting on Indeed. For county HR,
They've been having problems with their site, along with everything else. They haven't got back to me on when those things are gonna be worked out.
yeah.
I'll follow up with Sarah today.
Why 2 days ago did we just decide to post on other websites when you've had it for a month?
So the Indeed one, the first time it was brought up that this board wanted to post on Indeed was, 2 days ago.
We
Yeah.
made that numerous, even before you were executive director, that we wanted it posted as far and wide to deepen the applicant pool. If we just have it on our website,
Yeah.
we're not gonna get the full breadth. I mean, you're talking other counties abutting us are getting 300 applicants for a job. And we're getting, how many?
That's by the service manager. So the service, or the managers of the department are the ones that get the applications.
But what I'm saying is, how many applicants have we had for said postings?
For which post?
Any combined?
Service officer, we'd had at least 10. So,
But you see what I'm saying, the disparity
Oh, I
of
understand.
300 versus 10.
yeah. So I apologize for not posting it on Indeed. My understanding last meeting was wanting to post it on the county website, and we sent an email out to the county to post it. Again, it's out of our control for the county. We'll certainly look at it, Indeed. Ms. Indubisi said she was gonna post it on Indeed.
Okay.
The board wants me to look into Indeed, we can certainly do that.
Yeah.
That was just my first time that Indeed has even come up, was 2 days ago and now.
Okay.
There's nothing holding us back from posting on Indeed. I agree with that. Yes, sir.
Mr. Watson?
This problem with, the county came up 3 or 4 months ago. And the county requires that you go through your Paycor access to post those jobs. And we were supposed to have this resolved 3 months ago.
What, 3 months ago, or the job posting has only been open for a month and a half.
We've had other job postings though.
The problem with posting jobs, plural,
Mhm.
to Hamilton County, job section requires you to go through a procedure involving Paycor. And this issue came up 3 months ago, and it was supposed to have been resolved. And why are we still having problems getting access to that?
Well, this is my first time understanding that
How's
there's a
your first time?
problem. Yeah, so I'll look into it, sir. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Because this came up as an issue before when we were trying to get jobs posted, and we couldn't access Paycor to do it. And they told us, basically, they would show us how to do this. And we haven't done it. Are we posting to the, Jobs and Family Services?
That is the HR website, the county website.
No, the state
No,
one.
it's not. It's a state website.
Okay.
Are we posting there?
No, not at this time.
We should be.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
I got one more thing. Time and attendance, when will that be active?
So they still have an issue with the time and attendance system. The only thing that they've asked for us in order to at least move along with the process was our vacation time accrual and our sick time accrual, and we provided that to them. So we're waiting on that. I can follow up with,
I
HR
think
on that as well.
it should not be unreasonable that we have it active by the first of the year.
it's out of our control, Commissioner, so I will check in on that, but it's not up to us. If we have the ability to turn it on today, it'd be turned on today. I will double check.
So by our next meeting, you'll have a report on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone have anything else before we move on? Okay, old business, Coleraine Food Drive.
We have Mr. Green here. He's provided, I think what was outstanding from last meeting. It was just additional information regarding Operation Supplies a Veterans Family for Christmas. The last notation I have for that was that seeking clarity on how much the ask is, Mr. Green, knowing that I think Commissioner Watson explained last meeting that DAV had contributed a certain sum, $3,000 as well. So the floor is yours.
Yes. Well, this is my 8th year doing it. What we do is we supply 12 veteran families in the township. And we supply them with a complete overall Christmas dinner list with all the fixings to do at Christmas. Plus we do cleaning supplies and household goods and stuff like that. We spend between $8 to about $700 to $800 per family. And we spend with the 12 families, and we always give the police officers, because the police escorted by 2 Coleraine Township police officers, and we give them a gift card for their time and services for escort us. And we spend roughly about $10,000 every Christmas for DAV. My DAV chapter did give $3,000, so that does help a lot. But we spend about $8,000 to $9,000 every Christmas.
Have you raised any additional funds outside of $3,000 from DAV?
Yes. I mean, we get donations. We have 4 businesses in Coleraine Township that do collections, and we have flyers and on the website for donations. So we're roughly about 4,000 short of meeting the demand on everything, but we always put in the Coleraine Veterans Memorial puts in the last bit whatever we don't raise. So I mean, anything that you guys can give, greatly help.
I have a question. What are you asking that we donate? How much?
$3,000.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000, and the township or the Veterans Memorial will donate the remaining money for the list of goods.
And one more question. Y'all give the law enforcement officers a gift card. We for veterans only. So that need to be separate. We need to it need to be said. It need to be separate, because we can run into a problem on that if we give something to the police and it comes out and it's not earmarked that we are not giving. I'm okay with this.
But he has 1,000 discretionary.
So that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying it need to be earmarked.
Also,
That way we won't have no legal problem.
and also the 2 police escort are veterans. They're both veterans.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Green, you provided a list here of items. Is this per family? This is what?
That's a partial list of, that's
Okay.
per family.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how much is the total cost for all these items per family? You said about $700 to $800.
Yeah, between 700 and 800.
Okay. So if the total for this year's budget was 10,000 and 700 to 800 per family, that's about 12 to 15 families. Is that how many?
We do 12 families every year
Okay.
for the 12 days of Christmas.
How were those 12 families selected?
They're nominated through family members, and we best them through. I run a nonprofit, Coleraine Veterans Memorial, and we raise money to build a veterans memorial in Coleraine Township. So we have a list of all the veterans, and we ask for nominations of veterans in need, and then we vet them and investigate them and all that. And we pick the ones that we need, that need the most help.
Okay. Would there be any problem, again, it's the discretion of the board, whether to approve the support, would there be any problem if this support came after the first of the year? Because purchase order has closed for 2024 budget. So if this would be approved, it would come out of 2025 budget and would be then invoiced and paid in 2025. That'd be an issue there?
Right. No, there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, because we have the money to pay for, and then, I mean, whatever donated, we put it back in the fund.
I like the program. I'd like to, make a motion that, we donate $3,000 to the, Colerain Food Drive for veterans.
I'll second that motion.
Can we have a motion and duly seconded to donate $3,000 to the Colwyn Veterans Memorial Incorporated? Is there any discussion?
If I could add, Madam President, so just to clarify, it'd be a sponsorship with the Service Commission will be sponsoring this alongside Colerain Veteran Memorial. So the only thing we'd ask is that we'd be appropriately listed as a sponsor
Yes,
for this
you would.
event. Yeah, and then if there's any opportunity for us to maybe address the volunteers before they disperse out, we can send a representative, just tell the group about our services, and if we can include a brochure of our services in the Veteran Service Commission that
Yes,
goes in the packet.
Please do, because we give them a packet with information for veterans issues and veterans crises and stuff like
Right.
that. We put a packet together.
Right.
We're delivering Friday.
Okay.
If anybody wants to come along, we have 8 previous retired NFL players that deliver the food.
Great.
And we're meeting at 1133 or 11331 Dallas Boulevard. We meet at we're meeting at 5 o'clock in the morning for interviews with Channel 12 and everything, and they interview, and we leave there at 8 o'clock.
Great.
So you're more than welcome to come up if you want to be interviewed and talk about it on TV with us, or if you want to go and deliver the stuff. Fortunate, Steve was a recipient of it, I think 2 years ago. 3 years
My
ago.
first year, yeah. It's been 3 now.
Great.
It's gone fast.
Steve was a recipient of it. He was in need, and his wife nominated him, and he was chosen.
That's great. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we will be there Friday. Thank you.
Okay.
Since we sponsored, I said the motion was donate. Would I need to rescind that? I rescind my motion.
Can revise it.
Revise it, yeah. Revise my motion for $3,000 to sponsor the Colerain
All right, veterans.
Veteran Christmas Program, Veteran Memorial.
I'll second.
All right, so we have a revision to the motion, the original motion, to be a sponsor of this event. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Pam.
Commissioner Hadden?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sanford?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, holiday meals.
Thank you, Mr. Creighton. For holiday meals, just an update, our Thanksgiving holiday meal program, great success, over 40 families. Over 40 families were supported for a holiday meal for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, it's looking like we have 36, Pam, 36 at this time. We still have room for more families. The cutoff is this Friday, so we're going to put out another blast to those that have recently come in for emergency financial assistance to come in and get that. It looks like we're going to run into the same difficulty with Aldi gift cards that we did in Thanksgiving. No Aldi gift card yet, right?
Not yet.
They're still being delivered. So the plan is that if we don't get the Aldi gift cards by Friday, then we will issue out direct checks to veterans for the holiday meal so that they just get that before Christmas. And then we will hold the Aldi gift cards for a subsequent program in the future.
What seems to be the problem with Aldi?
Has it 2 months now?
It's been in we finally got the W-9, got that all set up, got the purchase order. That's a couple-week process, and then it was sent, and then Aldi puts it on a 15-day hold, or the county checked, goes on a hold. And then once it goes on a hold, then it goes to the processing center. So
Why didn't we use all of this? Why not
because
Kroger?
brokers would not do a limitation on the cards where they couldn't use it for alcohol and all that. And we also thought Aldi would have some like other idea or gifts and stuff that they would be able to use.
Just concerned about. We could go with Kroger, it would just not be locked. and
Gotcha.
purchase-
I understand.
Which of course,
And you can't call and talk to anybody at Aldi. All you can do is email. They don't have a phone number for you to call.
I'm just wondering if it would have been easier to use the credit card, but I don't know what the limit is on the credit card.
could have used the
Yeah,
credit
we
card.
couldn't use the credit card.
This
Why
one,
wouldn't you? I've used my Post credit card to buy gift cards many times.
Because we only have a limit on so
That's why I
much.
asked you if we had a limit.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is a limit.
I said I didn't know what the limit was, but you could call and had the limit raised.
Yeah, we can look into that for next year.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because the
commissioners
check
stuff.
thing, they want the check to clear.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 15 days for a check to clear anymore. That's how they are.
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. So we got the update on that. Okay, the financial literacy workshop.
it is a huge hit. At this point, we've only been marketing for, less than 3 weeks, and we have, 13 interested that have RSVP'd for our kickoff financial literacy workshop happening January 23rd at Easter Seals, 6 p.m. Thursday night. So that's continuing to be marketed. Just asking for, this is kind of down in new business, but what I'll be asking for is additional marketing for the financial literacy workshop, a condensed advertising via Spectrum reach for less than $2,500. It would get a commercial out for the financial literacy workshop. It would air starting tomorrow, December 19th, running until January 21st for the financial literacy workshop. But it's a great hit. We were planning on 10 veterans just to be conservative on our estimate, not knowing how many people would show up. But it's been less than 3 weeks and we've had 13 already RSVP. They can accommodate 100 in that facility. So this has the potential for being a hit. So
When is that session?
January 23rd, sir, Thursday evening, 6 p.m. at Easter Seals on Gilbert Avenue.
All right. Moving on to the records retention update.
Records retention update. We've gotten, of course, our new records retention approved. We also have a one-time disposal approved. Our records retention specialist that was on contract here was able to scan all of the minutes stretching back from 1992, and then also personnel files stretching back to then. The problem that we've run into is that there are at least 4 cabinets worth that have mold on them because of the water damage from a year or so ago. Those documents, of course, cannot be scanned. They also present a biohazard because the mold has grown in. So that records retention specialist was in gloves and mask, taking those documents and putting them into containers. So my recommendation to the board is that those documents, that we ask the state to allow us for a one-time disposal of those documents because of the biohazard they present. And then beyond that is we're going to have to be careful again, opening up the other cabinets. If they have mold on them as well and they require disposal, we're going to have to submit another request for one-time disposal.
And that, I'm sorry, that makes no sense. Why wouldn't we just open the other cabinets and look before we did all the requests?
Well,
I mean, it's not hard to go and open the cabinet and see if they have mold and only do one request.
so let me clarify. There are 2 locations where our documents are stored. The first one is back here. The second one we found is actually in the county's record retention facility off of Winton Road.
Correct.
We were told last week by records retention that there are old documents there that might have been subjected to damage that I am going to physically inspect today this afternoon.
So then we don't need to have 2 requests to the record retentions exemption to destroy these. We can have 1 if you're going to expect them today.
Correct. Well, although it depends on timeline. I mean, if we are ready to dispose these that we know have been exposed to mold already, and we can submit a records retention disposal today, then yeah, we could just wait and then see those documents. But
Submit it tomorrow. I mean, that wouldn't be, they're not going to give us an answer today.
yeah, well, what about this is that because there's thousands of documents, there's no way to inspect all 1,000 documents for mold damage right now. I'm just saying if in the future there are other documents that are exposed to mold, we may have to submit an additional.
And that I understand. But what I'm saying is, okay, so we know that certain X amount of years in this cabinet here are mold.
Right.
And look, I've been through mold classes and everything else. If one drawer in that cabinet is full of mold, the rest of them are contaminated as well.
Right.
So if we have a cabinet that has mold damage, that whole cabinet needs to go. So it's very easy to open. If there's mold evidence, then we submit for that whole entire cabinet to be destroyed.
Well, I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, number one is that we're talking about 4 tiers of drawers simply because the bottom tier may have been exposed to mold. Do you necessarily have to get rid of drawer 1, 2, and 3? Again, it's a compliance standpoint. I mean, we've got to
Well, we
retain
can
some.
see today, and then he'll know whether he can make it.
I'm just saying, if more mold damage is found down the road, then we just submit another disposal request.
Any way we can determine dates of those files without looking at individual files in a way that
Nope.
the dates of what we're destroying can be, what we're requesting to be destroyed, determine whether we have a record that we destroyed X number of documents from.
Without looking at them, sir, we wouldn't know, because some of these records, for example, the ones that county records told me last week they found, as soon as they picked up the box, they fell apart. And the files that they saw, again, not to breach confidentiality, they just saw the date on one of the documents. It was in the 1970s. And so, without looking at the files,
About the ones that are here, we get dates on those.
Those were
bagged up.
Those were
80s. Mainly
80s.
personnel files, and those have all been logged.
The dates, we have to record the dates.
We have actually logged the personnel file data, the date, the person, and then also what the file is. So we have a log of that.
Can we file for an exemption to destroy documents from like 1980 and before?
It's not by date range. It's by which ones were contaminated. We can't just say, hey, we're requesting these documents to be destroyed. The state's not going to approve that. Because they may require by a retention schedule a permanent retention. So we can't just ask simply because some of the documents were destroyed by mold, the entire 20 years should be destroyed. No, we have to go by document by document.
Question that I have
60
is,
cases over
if
there.
Hamilton County records retention found mold in our files, it's kind of logical that there would be mold in other files in that building.
Could be, I don't know.
And
That's why,
if it is, shouldn't it be their responsibility to remediate that?
no, sir. It's whichever agency is tasked with the records retention of those files.
They're storing them for us in their place.
It doesn't matter. It's not who is storing it. It's who has the records retention authority over those documents. That's why they requested that I go today to physically inspect the document.
But I think I understand what they should do a mold remediation.
We don't need to do a mold remediation if they're just going to be destroyed. I mean, if they're going to be destroyed, we don't need to remediate. We don't want to remediate the documents.
I'm at the county in the area that all their documents are.
Well, the remediation of the building may be on them. Right. If you've got mold there, that's not our problem. Our problem is the documents,
records.
what to do with the records.
All right, well, you're gonna check that out
Yes,
today, and you can let us know give us an update on that. All right, Veterans Memorial and Monuments update.
Veterans Memorial update. I finally heard back from Montgomery County. Their response is that they have a contractor that contracts out for memorials. Seems to be the only one that they found in Dayton area that even does Veterans Memorial, and that's Dodd's Memorial. They do not have an SOP for their monuments and memorials maintenance, and they do not work with their county engineers or another county agency. So we would be creating, if we decide to do this, we'd be creating our own SOP with our own process. My recommendation to the board is that we look into taking this on ourselves and hiring potentially a designated staff employee who's maybe a majority of their responsibility is the maintenance of memorials. I don't know at this time what that looks like in terms of what their qualifications should be, if they should be an engineer. But after thinking about this and talking with Montgomery County, and it's been brought up here by the board, if the Veteran Service Commission doesn't take this on, then these memorials and these veteran grave sites may not even be maintained at all. So I think we owe our deceased veterans the honor of maintaining the memorials. I think we can take that on. It's just we should do it properly with the right sort of staffing. So I'd like to take the next 2 or 3 months to really think through how this could work. But the plan could be by the end of the year that we have a memorials and monuments program in place. That's my recommendation.
What's the cost attached to that?
And that I don't know. Yeah, that I
I would also have to negotiate with the county commissioner, because that's out of their funds, not ours, and I want to make sure that they.
Oh, I'm going.
Well, just to clarify, from the county administrator, he says that these funds would come out of Veteran Service Commission. Now, whether that actually is what happens, that's the last thing I was told by the county.
I mean, that would be in violation of 5901, so we just present them with 5901?
Not if they just appropriate us additional funds.
That would be,
Right.
yes, if they appropriate it to our funding,
Right.
which is what I'm working on 5901,
That's what they're talking
then
about.
that would be fine, as long as we have the additional, but if it's expected to come out of the budget that we wrote for 2025,
No.
then no.
No. It would be it's coming ultimately out of VSC, but the funds are going to be appropriated additionally into
That would
VSC.
be
But it's not
perfect.
like we have to coordinate with the budget office to pull it out of another bucket. No, we
They just-
ask for a certain sum, they appropriate it into the VSC budget, and then it comes out of our agency.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so that sounds to me like it's gonna be a work in progress. And seems like we got a lot of work to do there, trying to pull it all together.
Right.
A monument place I might suggest you may want to make contact with that I know they do a lot of veterans memorials all over. They did Blue Ash, is Jonas Memorial in West Harrison, Indiana. He does excellent work, and they're renowned in Ohio,
Okay.
Indiana, Kentucky. So, I mean, you might want to touch base with Jerry. He's very helpful.
Did you say Jonas Memorial?
Jonas Memorial, Jerry Jonas. He did our Purple Heart Memorial at our post, and
It's beautiful.
it's a beautiful memorial.
Where are they at in West Harrison?
They're on 52.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Been there for years.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the van acquisition.
Update on the van acquisition, the 22-foot van with accessibility for 3 wheelchairs and electronic lift. The update there is from American Bus. They expect this to be delivered by late February. They are going to have it wrapped and provide us ideas for what the wrapping should look like so that it will just be invoiced through American Bus. And then also that they'll have the surveillance cameras installed. So the expectation ideally is February that we get this on. So my recommendation to the board is that we start looking for a driver now, with the expectation that it probably won't start part-time employment here until March, springtime frame.
And you were thinking how many hours to start for the part-time employee?
What, 20 hours?
20 hours.
Yeah, 20 hours.
All right. Any questions on the van acquisition? We'll move on to the policy and procedure manual, which was all that was emailed to you to review prior to the meeting.
Yes, that policies and procedures manual, it was the one that I had given to this board, the draft copy about 6 months ago that went through the review process with the prosecutor's office. Clean copy was submitted to the office last week, and then I forwarded that individually to the commissioners. Pending your questions, I'd like to ask for a vote to finally get policies and procedures manual.
Madam President, I have a revision, section 4.15.
Repeat that again, Steve.
Section 4.15, political activities. I'd like to remove section B and make the new section B, all employees of the VSC are prohibited from running for political office or public office while employed with the VSC. If an employee chooses to run for office, it will be considered a voluntary resignation from the VSC.
I don't know if that's legally permissible. We'd have to bring that up to get legal advice on the permissibility of that. Because I think that's being dictated by the fact that employees may not have classified status. And so without classified status.
But we're going to bar classified employees from running for office, but not unclassified.
Because it might be under the law that it should be that way. I don't know the answer to that. So before the board makes that decision, I think we should get a legal opinion.
Let's get a legal opinion and bring it back.
Well, send a request, we could do that. We could look into it.
Anything else on any other recommendations on that?
Yeah. Pass these around. At one. You know, when we do the certification and issuance of this new policy and procedures manual, I'd like to add this before our signature page, and I'll read it if you want me to. It states certification and issuance. We, the undersigned commissioners of the Hamilton County Veteran Service Commission, hereby issue and certify this policy and procedures manual as follows. 1. This manual is effective on whatever date we decide for all commissioners and employees of the commission. 2. Subject to the Ohio Revised Code, other state, federal, and Hamilton County regulations, we, meaning the commissioners, retain and maintain our rights to suspend, alter, modify, or amend any and all provisions of this manual and any previous or future revisions to it, or any other manuals or procedures hereafter implemented. 3. No employee, contrary to any language contained herein, shall be subject to discipline involving termination without the express authorization of the commission. Those are the things that I'd like to see added.
I'd like to modify section 1. I don't think commissioners should be listed because we're not employees of the commission. We are commissioners. Just for clarification on section 1.
Are you saying that this policy and procedures manual only applies to employees?
Dictate for the employees in the office. Yes,
Okay, well, I think it should apply to everybody.
because there's activities in here that don't apply to us.
There are activities in there that do apply to us.
Correct, but you can't lump it all in one sum by saying that I'm pigeonholed on this policy and procedure manual when some of it is contrary to what we do.
Well,
I'm just, I like this.
I went through all 78 pages. I read every word, and there are more than 10 references to what commissioners can and cannot do, should and should not do. So how are you going to write a policy that dictates or prescribes functionings of the commissioners without including the commissioners in the policy itself or the procedures?
But it doesn't pertain to the commissioner, it doesn't pertain. If it does pertain, then they would follow the guidelines, right? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that the policy and procedures manual should apply to everybody.
I understand that, but there's some things in that manual that wouldn't apply to the commissioners But what you're saying is, if it does, then this covers everyone.
Absolutely,
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Let's just make it simple.
absolutely.
All right,
What's
Lisa,
anybody
anything
else's
else?
thoughts?
Other thoughts?
Got to send to the prosecutor. Got those.
We can't vote on it today anyway.
Yeah.
because
I'm
we-
sorry, so what's the request? Just also get a legal opinion on this?
Yes.
That's
Just
whether-
make sure
on
that
whether this
it's
is
worded
permissible.
correctly.
Yeah. I'm cool with it.
I just,
We get it.
my
So he's
concern,
gonna
my
go,
concern is the legal opinion is just that. It's an opinion. The authority is ours. That's all.
No, not always. If it's a legal opinion, is it legal or is it not legal? Just because we're on the board and we make decisions, we still have to follow the guidelines of the law in the state of Ohio revised code. So that's why we ask, is this what's called? Because we all agree with this.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
reading this to me, I think it's
Mr. Munin, when
directed
will
to the
we-
point. They may want to change a word here or
When is
there.
the changeover?
That's all. Okay?
Sorry? When is the changeover at the prosecutor's office?
The new prosecutor?
Yes.
It's in the new year. I think it's the first week.
Will we
Yeah,
will we have answers before?
I
To these
I don't
two
know the
questions,
answer to that.
we should.
I think these should be answerable in rather short order, but I haven't been the one directly working on the manual, so I can't say with certainty.
Okay.
I just try to avoid any undue delay.
I will certainly
Well, our next meeting is
report that
on the
it's
22nd.
something that
Well, for sure, by the next meeting, we should have an answer, correct? All right.
The only thing I'll add is that any of these revisions can be amended into the policies and procedures manual.
We could vote on the manual.
Right, so that at least the
Pending these
employee,
two-
at least the employees have guidelines for 95% of the things that they do in this office.
Because as you go along in life, things are going to change. In the manual's probably going to have to be amended, changed, or
Right.
whatever. So we could go ahead and vote on the manual, and these two things could be added
Absolutely,
after the fact.
absolutely.
Well,
Or whatever.
with one exception. The manual specifically authorized only the executive director to terminate people. That's the only authorization in that, and
But
I read the manual, I read it a couple of times, and there is no authorization needed by the board to terminate someone.
But the vote of this board in the September 9th meeting explicitly gave the authority only for hiring and promotion to the director. And it was even clarified in the subsequent meeting, 2 meetings ago, that the executive director does not have the authority without the express permission of the board to fire. Again, the board can do whatever they want, we can.
No, I understand that, and I agree with you 100%. But this policy manual does give him explicit authority to terminate people. And I'm saying without any permission of the board.
Okay, so we
At
can
all.
change the language there that says executive director in any way regarding termination to just be substituted with the word commission. Instead of director, it could be commission.
Or termination with approval of the board.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that would be the ideal solution.
But we have no authority to fire anybody except him.
No, I'm
I'm
saying,
saying is we're going to amend it.
Let me finish it. In the policy that we're looking to approve today, we've given all hiring authority out. Now we're giving him termination authority. And the only one that the board retains authority to terminate is him. That's it.
But we just stated that we can amend the wording in there. And we can have it in the minutes that we wanted to be amended in the procedural manual, that any firing has to be approved by the board.
you do that now.
We can do it right now with a motion.
We got 78 pages of policies and procedures. And I'd like to see it be a part of that manual before.
I'm just saying, that's what we just said.
Before we approve the manual.
We can't amend it today to have that sentence in the manual.
Any reference, Madam President, any reference of termination can be substituted with the word, with the express decision of the commission.
We can do that today.
So you can make a motion, to approve the policy and procedure manual with the, amendment of replacing executive director with the commission's.
In any reference of termination of employees.
Correct. That would be the motion, which would make it automatically changed in the manual. He would present a new manual
Correct.
that would be changed with that to us. And then obviously, and then we have other things that are gonna be modified later.
It could be amended anytime.
Yes, which we have
Well,
that.
I know that. So we have that authority, but I just wanted to make sure it's clear up front.
Well, let's make a motion. Let's entertain a motion to put the wording into the manual
I don't have any problem with that.
before it's distributed to the employees, before we can vote on this manual today. We need this manual.
We've needed this manual for 20 years.
Well,
That's right.
and so let's get going on it.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
We don't need any more
I'd like to
delays.
make a motion to approve the policy
I know
and
you're not.
procedure manual, with the amendment of replacing any point where it talks of termination has to be done with the approval of the commission.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion duly seconded. The language is going to be changed about termination of any employee. It needs to be approved by this board before termination. So we need to vote on that. Pam?
Commissioner Hadden,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Stanford,
Yes.
Commissioner Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes. Now we need to vote to approve the policy and procedure manual as amended.
That was not what that vote was.
No, that was just to add
I
that.
worded it
Yeah.
to approve.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, I
With the
included all in one, yeah,
With the
with
amendment.
with the said amendment.
Okay,
That's
good,
all I heard.
okay.
Yep.
My hearing's not 2020.
You're good.
Welcome to the board.
What about the applicability portion that we were talking about before this?
That will go up to, the legal opinion.
Okay. Sir, the two things that, we're going to seek legal opinion on are whether this certificate and issuance is legally permissible. And then whether section 4.15 can be amended to include classified and unclassified employees, the prohibition of political activity while currently employed. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, those are the two things.
All right.
Requesting legal opinion. Okay.
All right, so let's move on to new business, the 2025 webmaster.
Before we do that, Madam President, I would like to, work in conjunction with Commissioner Hedden here. We need jackets and long sleeve shirts desperately for this commission. When we're out in the public doing things, we only have short sleeve shirts, so we would like to, I talked to Commissioner Hedden and he can.
Are you wanting to add something to
Yes,
the
I was
agenda?
asking that before we move further into that, I was asking.
I was gonna do it up on the new business.
Okay.
though.
Yeah, we're in the new business
Okay.
section now, that's why I was asking.
Okay, I'd like to amend the agenda to add on, our, clothing for the commissioners only.
Jackets and sweaters.
Yeah, and shirts, like a business shirt, cause we go out, we need a white
Button-up
shirt,
shirt.
button-up shirt,
Okay,
in case we need to have a tie or something where we look business,
okay. So,
like other counties, you know, cause when we was up at, Dublin, you know, I'm looking around, man, we like, man, I want to do like this, you
so
know?
one long sleeve shirt,
Yeah,
one jacket,
yeah,
and one, what was the other one?
I think we need, okay,
Vest or
Sweater.
sweater?
I think we need sweater,
Okay,
we need a dress shirt, and we need a hat.
like a baseball cap?
Yeah, that would be.
I think a baseball cap. I mean, we all wear, all
Yeah.
of us wear a lot of hats. I know it doesn't apply to Gene. I haven't seen Gene in a baseball cap,
But,
but
and, you know, have a sweater,
I got
and
one
then,
for you.
then maybe another, like long sleeve, shirt that's more like denim, you know,
Sure.
they got, you know,
Or,
what's color in it, and a jacket.
get the selection and let us kind of figure it out from here because we're we've talked, like, I wanna see like a long sleeve, like polo type, but a longer sleeve because it is. And then once we have that, we can work on for the employees coming in to also expand for them because I know it's been a long time since this board has done jackets, I believe, for the employees. So we can, but let us get a look at what we can do.
Okay.
Madam President,
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I forgot to say on the previous discussion item. I just wanted to commend Executive Director Sansa. That policy and procedures manual had a lot of work and a lot of thought that went into it. And I thought it was very well done. I just had my concerns as I expressed here. But you did a good job on that.
Thank you.
Really good.
Thanks, sir.
A lot of good work in that.
Thank you. All right, Madam President, this Jack, this Harold for the commissioners. All right. Make a motion.
I make a motion to we do Harold for the commissioners.
Well,
What is that?
question is, what do we, I was going to ask you, is there money in the budget for next year? I mean, what, you
It
know,
would
do
come
we
out
need
of
to
next
say
year's.
$200, $300? I mean, that was my question. Do we
Here's
put
my
a limit on
recommendation
this?
is that it would be a directive to the staff to look at the quotes for it, and then we present it at the next meeting, and then the actual cost of it
Yeah.
could be approved.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that we could entertain a motion to,
Actually, Madam President, there really doesn't need to be a motion.
Yeah.
I am going to task out to
Okay.
get quotes out.
Okay,
And then next meeting, vote on
Yeah.
it. Fair.
I agree. I don't think there needs to be a motion until
Yeah.
there's some sort of
Purchase, yeah, there's no purchase.
expenditure or
it's already in the budget.
you're
We're,
investigating something right now.
all right, so let's move on.
Okay.
I'm not trying to rush through this meeting, but for those who don't know, my husband had brain surgery and his follow-up with the surgeon is today, so I have to be someplace by a certain time. Okay. The 2025 webmaster, under new business.
So,
I have a question for proceed. Now, I was told in a subsequent previous meeting that we should not vote on anything for 2025 until the new year. So why are we voting on stuff for 2025 when it's not the new year?
What was voting on 2025?
We are asking to be voted on the webmaster and all commercials and radio stuff.
well, because the budget now, it has been appropriated.
But it
for
was very
2025.
specifically said not until after the first of
Well,
the
we
year.
just voted on Mr. Green's program.
But that was understandable that it's gonna come out in 2025, but that request was put in for 2024.
I don't understand what the,
I'm just curious, like, cause we're gonna have new board members
right?
and you want to approve all of this expenses before they're set.
Well, we just voted on a lot of substantive stuff before these new commissioners are
Which
sat.
is stuff that has been worked on in 2024, the policy procedure manual. All of that was 2024, correct? Record retention had started in 2024. All of this stuff, what I'm asking is why are we voting for stuff with 2025 when the 2025 board is not set?
Okay. I think there may be some confusion here that just because something may have been initiated in 2024, it can only be voted in 2024.
I'm not saying only.
The board can do whatever it wants, and the board has just been voting on a lot of substantive stuff that will impact this office beyond 2024. So simply picking and choosing what not to vote on because it's the end of 2024 doesn't really jive with what this board has been doing. It's that it's taking its prerogative to vote on any of these things right now as we go into the new year.
Well, I'm confused on why we're voting to give a contract to our webmaster when this board has asked you to coordinate with the county to look at their expense. So why are we locking ourselves into a contract when you haven't gotten us the information we requested?
Okay, Mr. Stanford, can you allow the new business to first unfold? Because I have 3 quotes right here and a briefing on what the recommendation is
Okay,
for the webmaster.
yeah, let's go.
Madam President.
Let's go ahead.
So for 2025 webmaster, 3 quotes have been submitted, and we reached out for a 4th quote from the county as to what they can provide, and they have been silent. In fact, our outreach manager, Ms. Ndubisi, reached out again this week for a quote from the county, and they have been silent. They said that they're still working with the contract for how to update their website, and so we don't have a quote from the county. But it's not going to be free, is what we were told at least, is that it would be amendment to their contract on what they can provide to us, okay? So what I present to this board is that now that our contract is expiring, which prompts why this is being brought up at this meeting for the last of the year, is that our contract is expiring with our current webmaster, okay? And so for that, I present to you 3 quotes, okay, that we've looked at, and I've also been in close coordination with our outreach manager, Ms. Ndubisi. Okay? The recommendation is to re-engage with our current webmaster for 2 reasons. Number 1 is that it is competitive as to cost. If you look at the 2 quotes here, I don't know if everyone's
Yeah, I get everybody.
Okay. So for the one that's titled Project Overview, that's from a freelancer, Mr. Michael Bloom. The cost is $7,900 one time with an ongoing cost of $100 an hour. Okay. That is just to do website maintenance and newsletter updates. The other one is a company, the one that's a PowerPoint presentation, gave basically packages. And it was more video oriented. Yes, they'll do website design and management, also social media management for all of our social media platforms, but also video content. And the packages range from $45,000 down to $19,000. It's the recommendation of both the outreach manager and myself that at this time, we don't need video production. What we need is website management, social media management, and newsletter management. The 3rd quote that we have is from our current webmaster company, Dynamics, by Mr. Ben Rosenfield, who is here today, can answer any of your questions. That quote is for $9,500 one time, no additional expenditure of an hourly rate. That is to maintain our website the way it has been with the current response time that I have personally experienced and Ms. Ndubisi has experienced of minutes, if not within a couple hours of any maintenance that we want on the website. And also providing, which is brand new, is the ability to handle all of our social media with the supervision of Ms. Ndubisi. So that's ongoing content for Facebook, for Twitter, for LinkedIn, creating content for the office, and any pictures or any events, Ms. Ndubisi would coordinate with Mr. Rosenfield and have an ongoing presence on social media. That is a one-time expenditure of $9,500 for the entire year. That I believe is competitive. It allows us not to disrupt the current process that we have right now that works for this office. It may not be what commissioners may have experienced in the past, but that is the experience of the office, is the quick response time. So that's why I'm asking for a vote to approve for 2025 with our current webmaster. And if there's any questions that this board has, Mr. Rosenfield is here. Or we could just not vote today.
For almost a year.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve this with Mr. Rosenfield.
Yes, sir.
And vote for approve this.
I second.
I don't think we should vote on this right now until we, one, get firm clarification from the county, if they're not interested. And I mean, you're looking at, I'm going over this other estimate, and it's pretty, yeah, it's $2,000 cheaper, but they have the monthly stuff included, so that 70, that 7,900 includes the monthly updates. The additional hours, as you talked about, are for emergency situations or anything that needed to be changed.
It
It's
does
not
have social
included
media
in there.
management.
I mean, we've been maintaining our social media, correct?
Sporadically. It's not regular. In fact, it's confined right now to events. We're talking about a daily social media posting, a social media campaign that has us constantly pushing out information across all mediums. I mean, to put that on our outreach manager takes away time from doing other outreach stuff, coordinating events themselves. Social media management takes a lot of time. I mean, speaking just from personal experience that worked with social media companies that.
That's
So
all I got to say.
On the newsletters, the last time we discussed this, there was several questions regarding sending our notices out to Veterans Association. And there was some discussion about some hosts don't want to give out their individual memberships. And there was discussion of sending it to the post and let them distribute it. Have we resolved how we're going to handle it?
It's a motion on the floor.
No, this is discussion.
Oh, I thought the
This is
discussion is on this. Cause,
This is discussion.
okay, on this?
This is discussion on the motion.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. We never resolved how we're going to handle the newsletter and what, we're putting in here costs associated with the newsletter, but we haven't decided on, well, you all haven't recommended to the board
yes, sir.
how we're going to handle that.
So the newsletter right now has been sent, for example, like our financial literacy workshop or our holiday meals. We've taken emails that we have from veterans that have applied for emergency financial assistance, and we have those emails. And so that we've been pushing out the newsletter that way through the emails that we do have. And also the veterans that just click the button that says join the newsletter on the website. When it comes to posts, that's the one where it's either we are calling them, distributing the information out, or we're mailing them a copy of the newsletter for the posts that have given us their email address, the post email address. Then we send out the newsletter to the post, but not to the members of the post.
Are we doing that now?
The members of the post?
No, to the post.
To the post we are. Yes, sir.
I just don't recall seeing one.
Okay.
But so are we going to stay with that system? And if we are,
So it's a better recommendation for, what all are you looking for, sir? That the members of the post get these emails?
well, I was looking for the widest distribution if we're going to be doing a newsletter.
Yeah.
And the discussions centered around sending it individually. Some posts don't mind, such as one of my posts, and then some posts do mind, such as Gene's. So I was just trying to figure out how have we resolved that.
We can look into a better,
Well,
broader
if we're
system.
sending letters, are we sending just one copy, or are we sending copies for distribution within that post?
Just one copy. Well, you mean the email newsletter? Well, it's one copy.
Any newsletter that we're sending out to.
It's one copy to the post. Now, whether the post decides to make copies or redistribute it out is on the post. Can't tell what to do, but we send at least one copy to the post.
I think we could get better usage out of our newsletter than just sending one copy out to maybe 30 or 40 posts.
I'll talk to our outreach team on that. Yes, sir.
It's a motion on the floor.
Okay, I'm just seeing if anybody else has any discussion before we. And I'm sorry, I had to go to the restroom, so I'm not sure what the motion was.
To approve the,
What master?
the current one we have, the directive.
Sorry,
Mr. Rosen, dynamic,
dynamic.
yeah.
Is there any other discussion before we call for the vote? If not, Pam, please.
Commissioner Hadden?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland?
Yes.
Mr. Sanford?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yes. Okay, moving on. The 2025 TV, radio, and digital advertising.
But Commissioners, this is what I present to the board, and the reason why I'm bringing this up in this meeting is that we can start the new year, starting January 1 with our marketing plan versus waiting, honestly, may not even be the first meeting of the year. It could be end up the second meeting or the third meeting of the year. But to start the year off strong with a robust, comprehensive marketing plan. I presented that to you with a summary. The total has been amended because I finally got the quote from billboards late last night. So that is the actual cost of billboard, including production. If you want to see it, it's one copy. It's 13 billboards that's going to run on a bi-weekly schedule. It's a 14-foot by 48-foot billboard.
So for the
Some-
digital ones?
13, no, they're all static. They're all static billboards. So they're the large billboards on 13 locations as well. So that's new that's been amended there. But basically, in summary, so that we don't have this has been 3 months of back and forth with media companies and also consulting with our counterparts in other counties. Okay, that if we're not careful, we could end up paying for the same thing twice with these with companies because everyone does digital advertisement. The recommendation is you only need to go with one company to do digital advertising across streaming channel or streaming mediums: Hulu, Roku, Sling, YouTube. The recommendation is to go with Cumulus. Okay, that's at $106,900. The reason why is because Cumulus has proprietary software that allows for the end user information to be used for direct mail if we wanted to send follow-up advertising to the household. Okay, no other company can provide that. Okay. Question, sir?
I know iHeart can provide that.
They can do it in reverse. Is that they have, and I've confirmed this. Is that if you have a pool of households that you want to hit, you can provide them the information and then they can hit those households. It's not the reverse. So the recommendation is to go with Cumulus, with social media, online, and then live streaming radio. Spectrum, taking out streaming video, it's live TV only. So Spectrum is going to be live on these 30 or so channels. Also, there's the short-term financial literacy campaign. It would start tomorrow, but it would be invoiced in 2025, the 2400. Radio 1 for the 4 radio stations there, 23.4. iHeart for live stream radio. That's not a complete, actually, that's not a complete radio list. It's all of the radio stations. And then also Bengal season, Red season, and community affairs program, to where they're providing us additional radio time during the peak seasons of Bengal season and Red season. Hubbard is B105 for country radio, that's live streaming and radio, and then the billboard advertisement as well.
Why is Hubbard so expensive for so little return?
That's the pricing of Hubbard. I mean, Hubbard has been comparatively more expensive. Now, we don't have to advertise in Hubbard, but with this marketing plan, trying to hit all demographics. Country, rock, talk radio, R&B, hip hop, and TV, digital. It's not perfect. I mean, what I learned from other counties is that unless you're a media expert, a lot of this is you get the word out there, you try to hyper-focus, and that's why you want digital advertising. And then you also want to do a shotgun blast to anyone you may miss or that's connected to veterans. And I think we do that with Spectrum, and we do that with billboards. The other thing too is that this program, I'm sure, will be tweaked moving forward, but to highlight this Veteran Service Commission has never had a robust marketing plan. And I'm sure moving forward annually, we'll reassess. Compared to other counties spend $400,000 in total comprehensive marketing. This, for now, is just south of 270. So recommending approval.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve 2025 HCVSC 12-month media marketing plan.
Second.
Have a motion duly seconded to approve the 2025 HCVC 12-month media marketing plan. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to remove Hubbard from that list. I don't see it being a cost-effective advertising for that price. I mean, we can invest that money into more billboards for crying out loud. That would be more effective, in my opinion, than a live streaming for one station at $25,000. I mean, we could probably get the digital billboards that we see all over, the few of them that we're not getting. I like the statics, but I mean, that's just me.
Sure.
That's just my thought process, but that's my discovery.
Fair. Another alternative could be if the funds are going elsewhere. This is one it's not currently a recommendation. This was pitched to us by Local 12. They have a Helping Veterans on Local 12 campaign.
Is that the one that Butler's part of? That I would like.
The only thing though is that it's pricey. It's a minimum of $5,000 a month investment. So that would be a $60,000 investment. And I will also say this is that we've also been reached out when other counties or other, like the VA, if other program sponsors don't have content to put forward, then they reach out to us and say, hey, would you like to be on the show? So we could do it that way, but I mean, $5,000 a month. I mean, that's $60,000.
That's a little expensive.
So Steve, would you like me to read,
I don't know if anybody else agrees with me.
man, I think that is, I thought it was more stations than just one.
No, 25 counties.
That's too much in one station.
Do you want to amend your?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, what we can do too is that I can go back to Hubbard and just say, you're capped at 25,000, lower the rate at which we appear on B105 and just expand us out to all of your stations. But then it could just be end up, once a week that we're on there. There's also a repetition factor. B105 just happens to be their highest listener station for veteran population. Or just not go with a country radio station at all.
Conceptually, you and I discussed this yesterday.
I added the bill.
Actually, more fist fight. But,
You won the fist fight.
No, I didn't. I indicated to you that I was 80% in favor of what we discussed over the phone. I had not received your written comments until I got home, and I went through them in some detail, and it looked good.
Nice.
But I still would like to see more non-electronic, non-digital, non-radio advertising, like wraps, pluses, the wraps of the connector, maybe some bench signs, and something maybe that's not so expensive. And I think we're going to have difficulty measuring what we're getting for our money. Last year, we were doing image building or image restructuring. So we're going to continue that this year. But at some point, shouldn't we be working on something that puts a return back to the veterans themselves? And some means of measuring.
Yes, sir.
And that's just a comment, and I'd like to share something with the board right off of our website. Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. This I was just researching stuff on our website, and I found that 3 new reviews had been uploaded to our website. I'd just like to share, and I make sure that Pam and you share this with your staff. This is a gentleman by the name of Larry Silas, and he says, "My toe got amputated, so I was off work for a while, but I would like to thank Calvin Wooten and James Massey for helping me pay my rent and electricity during this time. And the receptionist, Miss Susby, is so incredibly helpful and friendly." I could be having the worst day because of the circumstances life throws at you, and she always brightens my spirits with a joke. She is so funny. She cares, goes the extra mile to help a veteran in the time of need. That word of mouth is more valuable than any electronic means. And there was another one. I'll read that one. It's a little bit shorter. This is from Edward Clark. As an aging Vietnam War veteran, I want to say some positive things about the Hamilton County Veteran Services Commission. I have interacted with Calvin Wooten, Kevin Ott, Pamela, and James Massey, and all my interactions have been over and above expectations. These people will take the time to listen and are compassionate with doing all that they can to help our veterans. The commission is whole in, dedicated to helping veterans with occasional needs to get by. Kevin and James are especially knowledgeable and understand the process of helping Hamilton County veterans with their disability claims. So please put your trust in these people. God bless America. Ed Clark, 4th Infantry Division, United States Army. We are getting some of the positive feedback, and I think we're getting it because we're doing the job. I don't think we need to focus so much on building our image. I just think we need to focus more on the positive things that we're doing. And I just wanted to, this is on our website, so I was checking things. I wanted to share that, and please pass on to the staff that they're doing a great job.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Per the motion on the floor, it could be the removal of Hubbard completely, and reassess the allocation of that 25,000 for some other medium, whether it's bus wraps or more billboards or benches, or it's going back to them and saying you got to put us on more than one station if we're going to pay that price.
I would say that I think a good idea for right now is to remove Hubbard, and then if work something differently out with them, we could revisit it, or if we decide to go in a different direction, we still have that money available.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Richard, would you like to amend your motion to remove Hubbard?
Yeah, I thought I did, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know, it's been such a
Okay.
long discussion, I just want to make sure we get it right.
Well, I think to clarify the motion, because it was originally just to approve this entire budget, so.
And then I made a revised to remove Hubbard. So the motion is to approve this with removal of the line stream radio B105 Hubbard.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please, Pam.
Commissioner Hadden?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland?
Yes.
Commissioner Stanford?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yes. We're moving on to the web social media vendor.
That's actually on there twice, so. Hold on.
Yeah, I did think so.
Always in the web.
Yes.
My bad. About that.
Skip that. Madam President, just emergency financial assistance cost of living adjustment.
Okay,
So, because of the continued cost of living increase across the state, across the country, and then here locally as well, It's a recommendation to increase our allowances for emergency financial assistance. So it'd be a increase food per applicant from $300 to $350 for each additional person, $150 to $200. Hygiene applicant from $75 to $100. Each additional person from $25 to $50. Clothing allowance goes from $125 to $150, and then each additional person from $75 to $100. And then it would be amending our veteran services procedures manual for those analyses. Going to effect January 1st.
Entertain a motion to adopt the suggested increases on the emergency financial assistance cost of living adjustment. So moved by Richard, seconded by Jerry. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please, Pam.
Commissioner Petton?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland?
Yes.
Commissioner Sanford?
Yes.
Commissioner Watson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson?
Yes. Okay, copier printer purchase.
So a recommendation to purchase a new, it's really a scanner printer. The current one we have right now is very slow, and with everyone and old, it's about it's at least 10 years old. Currently, with everyone using it, and especially as we're now scanning a lot of these documents as well for records retention, everyone's got a scanner, but it's a cheap scanner printer that's on their desk. Recommendation to purchase a brand new scanner printer. Cost not to exceed. There's two options. It's to a one-time purchase of just south of $10,000, or it's a lease for $300 a month. It will be a lease of the product with ongoing maintenance included. Recommendation is that we just purchase our own, that we can then hopefully keep for at least the lifespan. And I think for products like this, it's 10 years. And it would come out of next year, but
And that does cover maintenance. It has the maintenance agreement.
purchase as well.
Yeah.
Maybe agreement comes within
Within,
$10,000, south $10,000.
And
What
the
is
maintenance
the-
agreement
For how
does
long?
what?
If it has troubleshooting issues, then the company comes out. I think a lot of companies or a lot of agencies use RICO, where if there's an issue with because these are giant. I mean, they're
Right, I've seen them.
What
We have
is,
one.
how long is the maintenance agreement for with the
The life
purchase?
of the machine.
one.
So if we purchase it for 10 grand, we get maintenance for the entire time we own it.
That's a better deal.
Sometimes I run into this problem, and I'm sure somebody else has. The software outpaces the equipment that supports it. 10 years is a long time. Yes, you're gonna, to look at what's happening with the cars 10 years ago, what we're doing now. So there is a positive advantage to having a lease, because at least you can replace the equipment. But I also like the idea of locking in that maintenance cost, so I'm kind of sure. And either way.
I'm sure from a software perspective, that comes with maintenance. I mean, if there's software upgrades that needs to happen, that's going to be included in that.
But a lot of times companies eliminate the old software and the old equipment won't process the new software. But you ended up making it with something that's optional, functionally optional.
Perhaps unlikely, but still point well taken.
So I'll entertain a motion to purchase the copier printer. So moved by Jerry. Seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call please, Pam.
Commissioner Hadden,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Stanford,
Yes.
Commissioner Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes. Do any commissioners, have any updates they'd like to tell us about?
Yes. We attended the, two events. One was the Veteran of the Year by, from Greg Langsman's office, for Hamilton and Warren counties, his district. In Hamilton County, Greg McKee was on as Veteran of the Year. In Warren County, a gentleman we all know, John Looker, was, awarded the Veteran of the Year. They both have done tremendous work throughout both counties and the state to help veterans. On Sunday, the commission attended and sponsored Project Little Hero by Back the Heroes Rumble charity. It was a fantastic event, well received. The numbers of, and you were correct, it was 400 Hamilton County veterans kids. That was correct on that number. The amount that we outreached on that was phenomenal, and we're looking and discussing, I've discussed with our outreach manager about how we can expand that to a much bigger presence for next year. Because it was, they gave away free food, bicycles, I mean, it was amazing.
I'm sorry, I missed.
No, I wish you would have. It was probably one of the
I heard about it, believe me, my phone lit up.
coolest events that we've attended, I think, and to connect with veterans directly and discuss, it was quite amazing.
Yeah, I got amazing phone calls
Yeah.
about that.
I'm gonna add to that. I mean, it surprised me. I mean, how successful it was, how many people came out to Woodline. I mean, there's veterans from all over Hamilton County, and coinciding that with the train display that just so happened to be there too. Huge train display as you walked in. Before they got their presents, they saw a train display. It was incredible, and I made the commitment to the executive directors. I will try my best to make sure that we continue to sponsor that organization.
I want to see us, like, when it comes next year, maybe switch some of our advertising to.
Yeah, not knowing
when
what
it
it
now,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then also to make sure we bring in other sister organizations that we have, like our Butler. We had veterans from all over the state and other states, but to bring in, maybe get some assistance in advertising it with our surrounding sister organizations, but as well as probably bring in the VA maybe and like the DAV to.
Yes.
Team Rubicon was there. It was amazing.
I mean, that could be our winter event.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a summer appreciation day event and then a winter event. That could truly be it. So I thought it was great.
Yes. So I would like to thank all of us, the commissioners who did donate for the approval for that. It was something that meant a lot to me personally, and it was wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, Richard, you said you had
Yeah, I was at the VA hospital last night. I've been recommending people down here, and I take my hat off to the staff, to the director, to Pam. The outreach is really getting out there, and we getting positive input, like you saying on the website, and it's because of the staff and it's because of the commission. And I thank everybody. I ran into a guy last night. We was doing bingo, and he's in community care. He can't get out. So I said, well, maybe we can, I talked to the director, we can get one of our service officers to go up there. And he approved that, and he went up there. So we need to look at it. If people is homebound and stuff that, need to put in an order, you need to put in something for the compensation or anything, that we outreach and we go visit them, send a service officer there where they can't come here. And I think that'd be part of our outreach, to really help veterans. And while I was talking to this veteran, another veteran was there. He said, yeah, I need the same thing to do it. So Calvin is on his way up there now to take care of that. And it's all with outreach. Give your cards to veterans. Let them call down here because they appreciate that. And I know it firsthand. And I went on a cruise, and it was a lot of Vietnam veterans and Desert Storm and Desert Shield. And I thought everybody had a program like the state of Ohio. They don't. And I mean, they was amazed, and And I, quite naturally, I took our challenge coins out there and passed them out. And I got 4 phone calls since I've been back to help them. They in rural areas. So attached to DAV, I'm able to give them people number I know through DAV. And that's only through the training that I have got and the support with the people I sit with around this table. Thank y'all, and y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Me, Steve, and the commissioner, and the major commissioner, I take it back. The executive director attended the graduation ceremony for the Hamilton County judges, Veterans Court, and Judge Nestor's court. And he's moving on. There'll be a new judge in there, but they had 4 graduates, 5 total veterans who had been in the program recognized. The 4 of those 5 had their arrest records and their court activities totally expunged. And I thought it was a fantastic thing for a veteran to know that they got a new lease through that court. And at the ceremony, Judge Nestor recognized James Massey's work as one of the people contributing to the success of that program. I love the program. It's a fantastic program. And I think maybe if we can give them a little bit more support, we should do it. The other thing is, I attended the Military Officers Association of America Friday, and they had their Christmas party. I was invited, and they gave much kudos out to our staff for support, for co-sponsoring their benefits program for widows, spouses, and children of veterans. And they said they got a lot of feedback and they want to do it again. So I told them that, we look forward to assisting them, because I thought it was a great program. That was it.
Thanks, sir. Madam President, just a couple things. Number one, make the board aware. The Board of County Commissioners did approve by resolution last Thursday the appointing of 3 additional commissioners per 5901. I'm sorry, you said 3. 3 additional, yes. So respect their decision. They're entitled to that under the law. So my understanding is that their membership is going to commence January 15th for a term of 5 years, and that they have the prerogative whether to continue that beyond the 5 years after that. Their salary.
They don't, though. 5901 says that unless we, again, trigger the 10%, they cannot legally sit for longer than 5 years.
The reading in 5901 says that they have that decision whether
Up to 5 years.
No.
It does not say, no, I guarantee you it does
Well,
not.
we can clarify that.
And I would like the county prosecutor to get clarification, because it says very specifically up to 5 years.
Okay.
Well, say beyond, and this went through Montgomery County, and they had to threaten to go to court for it. They are not allowed to sit unless we trigger it again past the 5 years.
Okay. Well, that's not on the resolution, so it's up for debate, I guess. But their salary is going to be paid by the general fund, not the VSC fund.
What's their salary? Same as ours?
Yes, yes. There's been a 3% salary adjustment for the commissioners. For 2025, it would be $7,050.39 for all 8 commissioners. So at our first January meeting of the year, we will have 8 seated commissioners, at least for the next 5 years. There's that. Just update the board as well. I'm allowing our staff to consider bed bugs infestation to be an emergency. So if we have a veteran that comes in and they've got a bed bug infestation and they qualify for financial assistance, then they can get assistance. And we do a direct vendor payment to an exterminator. Pam's working with the purchasing office to get quotes for 3 exterminators. But it's still a problem in Hamilton County. So if we have that, then we're going to allow for that to be considered an emergency
Right
expense.
now.
Well, there's a concern about that, because if they're living in an apartment complex that is not taking care of the problem as a whole, then we're throwing money away, because it's not gonna eliminate the bed bug infestation if you're only treating the veterans apartment.
Well, we're definitely gonna treat the whole part.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that point there, what do we do? Because I don't want to see us,
We
Well,
wouldn't do it again, it's a one-time thing.
Yeah, one time, I think our obligation is the veteran. And so if they live in a home, obviously, if they live in a home, you fix the problem, one time. We'll take that on a case-by-case basis, at least by treating the veterans, unit, you stop that unit from infesting other potential units.
okay,
So there's an update on that. Forgot to include this as well, needing the vote recommendation to allow us to purchase 4 additional laptops. We're having 2 additional employees come on. Now still waiting on outreach manager and the driver, part-time driver. So 4 additional laptops at a cost not to exceed $1,400 per laptop. That would include the laptop, the hardware, the software, and Microsoft 365. Same laptops that we just got issued. So if I could just have a vote, that.
Make a motion that we approve the laptops at 1,400.
4 of them.
Yeah, 4. Wow. Right, that's right.
We have a motion and duly seconded to allow the purchase of 4 laptops up to $1,400 each for the laptop and all the equipment to run it properly. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Pam, please.
Commissioner Hedden,
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland,
Yes.
Commissioner Staniford,
yes.
Commissioner Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
I got a comment to Lee, when we were appointed to this board, 12, 13 years ago, there was no, veterans court. And I was asked what the heck what I would like to push for. And I brought the point up, we need a veterans court here. And I think within a year or so, we had one. This office pushed for it and we got one.
Well, thank you, because it's doing great things.
Yeah.
Madam President, I believe we also, other commissions have to vote on exempting commissioners from their credit hours.
I'm sorry now? I can't hear you.
Other commissions throughout the state vote whether or not to extend the exemption for a said commissioner who was unable to attend training. Now, I know Commissioner Rowland was not able to attend training this year. Is there gonna be a motion to approve?
I attended the spring
But again, it's
training.
not, again, what authority is there to extend that?
So from my understanding, from Robin, all
From
we
the state.
needed was a letter
From the president of the board.
from the president of the board, asking for his exemption,
That's what the state told us as well.
so. And I know it's the exact same thing that they did for me last year, when I had my shoulder surgery, was I needed a letter from the board, which, Bob Brewster, signed. And sent.
Did you do that?
Yes,
Okay,
that's been
good.
done,
Okay.
And I did attend the spring training, which he didn't have that listed.
Yeah, I got that all straightened out.
Yeah.
Lee, I got yours straightened out too.
I mean, we went by the direction of what Robin told us, and
Okay.
that's what we did.
One thing, starting to mind, we gonna have an 8-person board. And I'm looking at this tape. And it's not gonna fit 8 people. And another concern is, okay, you got 8 people and you got both. That's a tie, 4-4. How you break that tie? Now, I was talking to Jean before the meeting. She said the president, most places, council meeting and everything, the president don't vote. They only vote
And on
to
top.
break a tie. So we need the.
Or they can put forward a motion.
Yeah, right. But we need to think about that because, you get 3 people on and you lock in on a 4-4 and we had to make a diehard decision and it goes to a tie. So we need to sit here and figure out a way to do that and have that in the policy procedure of this meeting. I don't know how it started, but Jean said the president shouldn't vote.
Well, I'm
And then
saying, what I'm saying is, past, the president didn't vote, only in a tie. Okay, when we went to roll call vote, we were all voting, okay? But I can tell you, my experience with my city council is our mayor only votes in a tie. So we'll just have to see. It'll be the cards that are played, you know.
But that's,
This may be my last meeting. I don't know. I've asked to be reappointed. I don't know if I will or not. So if I'm not, I've enjoyed meeting and working with all of you. And I wish the best for the Veteran Service Commission. I think that in the past 6 months that we've grown leaps and bounds. I think everybody here has brought something to the table. And whether we agreed or if we disagreed, I think that basically we're all here for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to serve our veterans of our county. So with that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Next board meeting, Madam President.
Oh, yeah, next board meeting.
Let me just say this one thing to Mr. Commissioner Rowland or Haddon's point is that I don't know if this commission wants to vote on the procedure right now, because what could end up happening is at the first board meeting with 8 members, as you're voting on new officers, it could end up being a 4-4 vote, and there's no procedure on how to break that tie. Right. So if you want to, in the interim, and it can be changed, but at least moving forward, that a vote be not to include the president unless a tie needs to be broken.
But that doesn't make any sense. The math doesn't work on that.
Sure it does.
Because it doesn't. Because the president's never going to vote on anything because it will never be a tie. You're making.
No, you could end up having a commissioner that's not present.
But I'm still saying. But as a general rule, if the full commission's available,
Yeah.
the president's never going to break a tie.
No, not really. 8 days.
7
Yeah.
who are voting. So you're never going to have a tie.
No, you can never have a tie if all 8 are present. But you could have a scenario where
It would be a
someone's absent
And then that, yeah, but what I'm saying is that.
or abstains. Yeah,
And then,
Abstentions count in the majority.
yeah, exactly.
right.
We're gonna have to figure that
If
out.
there's no
Today's
majority.
not the day.
What I'm just saying is that as you vote for officers on January 22nd, what if the voting of officers becomes a 4-4?
Well, we make that motion before we do the vote. It doesn't say that vote has to be, the officer voting has to be first on the agenda. It just says we have to in that meeting. So we set the policy and procedure of how we perform at this board before we do our vote for officer.
What about if that vote becomes a 4-4?
Then it's a dead issue.
Well, then
It's
how
no
do-
different than any other meeting, if it's a tie, if there is not a majority, it is dead.
Right, so then what's the recourse of that? That's what I'm saying.
We don't have a recourse because the Robert's Rules of Order and the state do not provide us, as well as Hamilton counties and the state do not provide us. We can't.
That's why I'm suggesting that if the board wants, they can vote on a temporary procedure right now. That's all I'm saying. Is if the board doesn't want to vote on temporary procedure, you can.
I don't think that we not
Fair.
include our 3 additional commissioners into this discussion. I feel it's unjust not to at least have the discussion with them.
Just throwing it out there. Good. I agree with Mr. Head's point, though.
I understand it's a concern, and
Yeah.
I agree it can become an issue.
And it may not happen. It may not be an issue, but at
It
least
may
there's a
not, but I'm
procedure.
saying
It's an issue.
coming in,
It's an issue.
it ain't gonna be an issue. So we need
But not having the president vote doesn't solve the problem completely.
Well, we need to have something in place, cause you know, okay, say you vote for the president, it's 4-4 tie, it's dead issue. We have no
Then we have to vote
president.
again.
We voted in, it's dead, it's still dead,
It's no different than what they do to pass things. You just keep voting until somebody breaks it, because we don't leave until it's done. That's how they do it in the government.
No, they don't.
You do it. It's whatever the board decides. I'm just saying that I think it would be helpful
No,
to at least have-
they dismiss whenever they want to.
Yeah.
They go on vacation or junkets or whatever.
I
There's a lot of work that's not done in
Right.
Capitol Hill.
No,
They just
what I'm
go on
saying is
vacation.
if they're doing a vote that requires a majority vote, generally that is, and they gotta convince others to vote their side, that's what happened.
I've seen stalemates, and they even have 7 people and 1 abstain, and they stay 3-3, 3-3, 3-3, and the tie's never broken.
It's y'all's decision. So
But you know, it's up to us. We can include the other board, but we still have to come, even with them, come to a decision.
if it's
I
possible.
wish they would have thought it out better,
Yeah, you know.
either a .2 or a .4.
They didn't discuss it with us.
I said, I wish they would have thought it
Well,
out better.
So that's a political
I
thing.
know that.
So, and I know how
They
they.
should have.
My
They don't have
recommendation
all
is that
these, but-
a procedure be put in place. That
Yes.
way, we don't start off the first of the year with potential stalemates.
How does the board feel about that?
I think that decision should be a decision made by the new commissioners as well as the old.
And I understand the thing, but like I said, if all the entire board is present, having the president not vote does not solve the issue.
Well, it
Because
does.
it says,
How?
in
Because it'd be
if you
seven.
word it as the president only votes in event of a tie.
Right.
If the entire board is present, the president's never gonna vote.
Correct, but if the entire board is not present, you've got a mechanism to break the tie.
And that way, if the president can make a quorum,
Yeah,
you know?
Well, we could ask them to add another commissioner
Oh, no.
We could.
or take one off.
They won't take one off.
Okay.
They may add.
I think let's leave sleeping dogs lie and figure it out later.
Okay.
all right.
Next
Merry
meeting.
Christmas.
My suggestion.
They made a motion,
Motion.
motion to vote?
Yeah, I made I said I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion
I
to
appreciate
adjourn.
everybody working with
Second.
me today.
Oh.
Okay, roll call please, Pam.
Commissioner Hadden.
Yes.
Commissioner Rowland.
Yes.
Mr. Stanford.
Yes.
Mr. Watson.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson.
Hey, Christmas, everybody, and